XBLIG suggestion. Found a pretty decent/good game on XBLIG called Bleed, a sort of 2D side-scroller shooter with the usual slowdown mechanic you see in most games. It's pulled off pretty well, and it's pretty enjoyable once you get the controls down if you ever want to try it. Well, yeah, I am always interested in trying good games on XBLIG, since I've played so few of them so far. Alright, let's take a look at Bleed. The game starts off with some kind of cutscene, and I'm not sure what's really happening in it. But the story of the game seems to be that the old video game heroes have become corrupt and complacent, and our new hero here wants to replace them as the top video game hero. At least as far as I can tell, that's what's going on. The demo has one level, the Blob, and we could see a little backstory about this blob named Guppy. Apparently since then, Guppy has done nothing heroic, has just sat back in his manor. Doesn't seem like a reason to kill him, but alright. So the game's a side-scrolling platformer, however, it's also a dual joystick shooter. However, even though there's a lot of shooting in this game, I would say the game relies even more on shooting. It relies on range of movement, on mobility, because you have this. It's a triple jump. Really, it's more like you're flying for a short distance. The game kind of seems a little bit No More Heroes-ish in its premise. Like, we want to become the #1 hero, so we have to kill the previous heroes. I don't know if that makes us number 7, or are we just unranked yet? As you can see, very quick movement with the triple jump. You really are not restricted in how you can move around. And you also have other tricks like this. Bullet time. So instead of a platformer that tries to make it challenging to be able to maneuver a lot of enemies here, to maneuver the platforms, rather the game gives you all the abilities you need to make it very easy to get around. It's just that you're being bombarded with lots of shots and enemies like this. I think the game controls very well. At first, I wasn't sure if it was working so well, but as I've been playing the demo a few times, I've really started to enjoy it. Because, first of all, here's another weapon we have, the rocket launcher. I don't know if we get any more than those 2 weapons, but those are the ones we start with. One thing about the controls that kind of bugged me at first was that to jump, you press the right trigger. Which is kind of weird for a platformer, but this guy's still up there. But you kind of has to work like that, because since it's a dual joystick shooter, that means your right thumb is going to be on the right stick all the time. You never actually use the face buttons. Yep, that's true, because fortunately this game is very generous in terms of checkpointing. The areas are quite short. When you die, you begin right at the beginning of whatever the current area you're in is. So even though the game can get hard, especially if you try playing this on very hard, I actually have not been able to beat it on very hard. Whoops. You never have to go back too far after dying. And to me, the thing that makes this game pretty fun is the triple jump. And I mean, this seems to me to be the core of the gameplay right there. More so than anything else. Whoop. Alright, time for the first, well, mini-boss. Not the boss, because this is not Guppy. He doesn't look like a slug. Not too difficult as long as you figured out the whole thing with the triple jump and bullet time by this point. By the time you reach this helicopter. And that's it for the chopper. And with that, the last of Guppy's bodyguards down. It's time to face the number 6 hero of all time. The game calls him hedonistic. Considering what he looks like, I don't think I really want to imagine that. I was actually doing not bad, but then I got mauled right into the wall. This is actually the guy I can't beat on very hard yet. I can make it up to him without too much trouble. Basically, the main thing I'm trying to do is avoid getting squashed by him in the corner when he turns red. So that's the most damaging thing he can do. Whoop, we just did, though. We just lost the gross purple thing. Talking too much because I actually do kind of have to focus on. Oh, and we come to the end of the time limit. Well, if I had a few more seconds, I think I could have done that. But yeah, this is the end of this level and the end of the demo. If I beat him, then it just would have ended the demo entirely. So that's Bleed, and I am, quite surprised. It's actually a pretty good game on Xbox Live Indie Games. It's actually not only for XBLIG, but it has been released on the PC as well for Windows. You can buy it from the creator's website as well as from Gamersgate. He also has it up on Steam Greenlight, if you want to take a look at that. But I wanted to give the XBLIG version a try because, I mean, come on, it's a pretty good game that's on XBLIG. How rare is that? We can't take that away from XBLIG and play the PC version. But that's Bleed. I think it's all right. I think it's pretty fun. The look, the sound of it is pretty good. And I'd recommend giving it a try. I think this was a pretty good recommendation for a game to try. So thank you for that.